I was worried about the fact that in our community now I was going to be viewed femininely because I'm changing the tag of who I am as a sexual person.
Coming out to friends and family can be a daunting experience, but for bisexual people, there's an added fear that even within the 2S LGBTQIA+ community, bisexual people still aren't fully accepted. This man, who we've agreed to call Greg, didn't want to be identified for this story, but he says he wouldn't have been able to come out within the polyamory community if not for his wife, who's also bisexual. When coming out, bisexual people sometimes struggle with what's being referred to as bi erasure, when one's identity as a bisexual person is questioned or even dismissed.
There's still tons of stigma around the bisexual identity. Like, folks tend to, I think the old trope used to be that, bisexuality was the stopping point on your way, to being either gay or lesbian.
Cheryl Dobinson says at 21 she came out as a lesbian, but after realizing she was also attracted to men, came out a second time as bisexual. One friend in particular in the lesbian community had trouble accepting her new identity.
She's really challenged that this could exist as an identity, and how could I be that, and what, it was a real, someone who I had been a mentor who I really looked up to. It was very painful and difficult.
Levi LaBelle with Huddle Broadway, a mental wellness hub for youth in Winnipeg, says this kind of dismissal can have a real impact on bisexual people's mental health.
They are overwhelmingly broadly represented as people who identify as having mental illness, particularly for depression, anxiety, and other serious mental health concerns.
According to Statistics Canada, around 41% of bisexual Canadians report poor or fair mental health. 51% said they had been diagnosed with a mood or anxiety disorder. Greg says while he hasn't come out to the public and doesn't feel the need to, he hopes within his own smaller community that he has helped bust some of the stigma around bisexuality.
If you take away the stigmas and you take away the negativity of that aspect of who people are, then you take away them having to hide and them having to go find it in places that aren't necessarily a beneficial spot.
He's hopeful, as are those like LaBelle who help those struggling with mental health, that young people are starting to eradicate those stigmas. Alyssa Julie, Global News.